on Pure West Radio with a Folly Farm. Well, we're going to introduce our next guest. Extremely excited to be welcoming Tim Howe this morning from the Torch Youth Theatre in Milford Haven. A very good morning to you, Tim.
Oh, good morning to both of you. Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
It's lovely to have you here to talk about Wind in the Willows. It seems to be making a resurgence, but I do need to cast our mind back when most of us were introduced to it, that lovely stop motion animation which brought all of these characters to life. Give us a bit of a synopsis as to what we can expect on Monday and Tuesday.
Oh, goodness me. So I think we all grew up with a version, didn't we? And like everyone, anytime you speak to anybody, right up to my grandparents and like even my niece and nephews now, and you go, Wind in the Willows, and they have their own version that was that everyone claims as their own, don't you? I'm a bit like you. I'm with the stop motion one, but there's all sorts of different versions out there, and all sorts of really famous actors have played these parts and taken them on. So our version was first performed in 2016 up in Chester, and so this adaptation has a sort of a little twist on it. They're putting a contemporary spin on the play, which is, it has everything you would expect, but there's this sort of overwhelming, overlooming villain that we don't really know much about, this thing called the Slurpex, which is threatening the whole of the Wildwood. It's something very familiar to all of us. We've definitely seen some on building sites or roadworks. I don't want to spoil the surprise.
No.
But yeah, so there's this extra villainous layer they put in that the Wildwood is under threat. So it's not just from the Weasels. Chief Weasel claims to be in control of this thing, but we'll never know. But you can expect everything else you'd want in your Wind in the Willows. There's Ratty, there's Mole, there's Toad, of course, right? Badger, who's sort of looking after everyone the whole way through. Toad being Toad stealing a motor car because that's what he does. Plenty of poops, a couple of picnics here and there, and then some lovely chases through the woods and people taking over Toad Hall. Everything you want is going to be there, just not necessarily in the order you'd expect it. That's all I'll say.
What I love about it, you just mentioned you've got Badger who looks after them, you've got Toad who very much is his own animal, but you've got Ratty and his others. Lots of different animals, they've got different outlooks on life, and yet they can all come together in this Wildwood.
Yeah, and I think that's part of that timelessness of Wind in the Willows, and means that it keeps coming back, and as you say, it gets these resurgences because it is just about friendship and people getting on despite their differences, and it does have the classic happy ending if they all make up and they're all friends, but it's just kind of everyone going, we can all exist in this world together and appreciate each other and understand that we're all part of this community together. And I think that's really lovely, and that is what makes the story timeless for everyone, is it's about togetherness and friendship.
And go on, G.
No, I was just going to say, with the youth theatre, that makes it sound like, is there a lot of cast in this?
Oh, just 40, just 40, just 40. And because the Torch Theatre is the Torch Theatre, and we never do things easily. The cast only ever come together once before opening night. So they all rehearse on different nights, they all rehearse their little bits, and then we pull it together once and go, well, that's the play. So we've got, last night I was rehearsing with some Weasels and some Stoats last night. This evening I've got the ferrets and some other animals. And then we all bring them together for one rehearsal, put the whole thing together and, cross our fingers and hope everything goes well. But they're just brilliant. I know it's going to be brilliant because you just look at all the little bits and go, these all work. So it's just putting the jigsaw together, really.
Yeah. You feel like a zookeeper. You're looking at your calendar and be like, right, I've got the rats there and I've got the ferrets there.
No, it's just trying to remember which ones are which. It's like just, because I'm so used to seeing the children every week, I'm going, oh no, which animals are you now?
Yeah, who are you?
And is this the washerwoman scene? So it's all those little bits. So you're kind of going, and so I love that challenge, and I think they do too, because they enjoy winding me up a little bit, which is part of the fun of rehearsals, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, we've seen a rehearsal picture actually.
Oh, no.
We got a little snapshot. You were one with the energy. You had no shoes on.
Oh yeah, that was, Chelsea told me off for not wearing shoes, the artistic director. But I get really animated and excited because they get me animated and excited. You're watching them enjoying themselves, and yeah, it is such a joyous play. There's so much fun in it, and it is fun because they're not having to be themselves. The guy who's playing a toad is channeling his best Rick Mail, so it's less poop poop and more poop poop, which is great. A bit of Lord Flashard in there, and then he's gone off and done that, and then you've got like all these weasels creeping around the little children. So yeah, I get excited by them playing and just having fun with it, and that's again the joy of having all those different communities within the play.
Yeah.
They can all go and do their own spin on it and be like, oh well, Stoats are wild and they're off doing this, and they're like the 7 and 8 year olds, whereas Badger's obviously she's 18, she leaves us at the end of this term, and she's very stoic, and she's like, well, I'm 18 now, I'm an adult. And you go, yes you are. So it's great, I love it.
It's a huge age range that you're responsible for on these different nights, and then bringing them all together whilst also trying to figure out who they are as people. You're giving them that escapism through performance.
Yeah, and I think that is always a joy of working with young people. Part of it is rehearsing and working with them, and the other part is just watching them develop as people and finding their personality, finding their way in the world. And the nice thing about this play is it gives that vehicle we're talking about those things without it feeling forced. There's nothing worse as I think we can all remember when we were teenagers or like young people, and adults are going, oh, this is how you need to behave, and this is the friendships and communication you need to have. And it doesn't feel forced in this because we have to talk about it in relation to what's happening in the play. So they are talking about friendship and their connection with each other and what that looks like. And then, we can move on and talk about other whole breadth of things to do with consent and communication and identity and all these sort of things, but without it feeling like they're forced conversations. And I think that's very exciting in a space where young people sometimes feel a bit lost in the world, don't they? And there's so much going on. I mean, I'm glad I'm not a young person now because I think I'd really struggle with all the technology and everything they have access to in a way that I never did growing up, which thank you for being born in the 80s. So yeah, I think it's great for them that they can come and they just are with a very different group of friends, and a bit like a lot of us find in theatre, it's sort of like finding our little tribe, our little group where we feel safe to be who we want to be. And I like that we have that space at the Torch, and that our young people can feel comfortable being themselves and also meet adults in a different way. It's being reminded that young people meet adults as teachers and professionals and all sorts of stuff. But I'm a little bit different to that. It's still very professional, but it's just like, oh, adults can also be fun and doing and let their hair down, and we can see them being like that, and that's also okay. They're just as valid as my teacher or my doctor or whoever else it is I meet, and or my parents, but they're a bit different because that's this environment, and that's also learning as well, isn't it? And young people are the most exciting people.
And also all are working towards a goal and a product and something that is going to be available. Well, people can purchase tickets for it now.
Oh yeah, exactly. You can get online, you can ring our box office and get those tickets in. There's 3 performances on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. Very exciting. There are still tickets available, but I think that's kind of the nice extra bit. Like all the other stuff's great for them, but then the fact they get to go, and also we did a thing. Here is our thing that we've made, and it's ours. I get told off by the older children all the time because they'll ask me a question about the play, and I'll be like, well, that's your choice, that's up to you. And they're like, what do you mean, you must know? And I'm like, well, no, it's your choice. You need to make that decision. And that's what's lovely about now seeing it come together. You go, it's all their choices, and they get to share that back with everyone, and that's just so warming and lovely. It's got real heart.
I love that. And you mentioned earlier it's going to be a visual feast. You get confused because you've got these children turning up for their rehearsal every evening, but on the stage it's going to hopefully be a bit of a visual feast as well.
Oh yes, we're really lucky. We've had a professional costume designer come down and join us. She works in film and TV and all sorts of different things. We've managed to get her to come and design these costumes, so we've tried to keep them looking like people a little bit more. You're not going to expect to see them bounding on with massive tails and all this kind of stuff. They do have ears. We've done lots of different things with the ears, but each set has a slightly different color. of costume to fit in with like what Weasels, Ferrets, and Stokes look like. Obviously, Toad is in green. Well, it couldn't possibly not be. The Badger's in black and white. Moley's very earthy. So there's all these visual things going on, and we've got very simple, straightforward set. They do a lot of making of the spaces they go into. They construct the car that Toad steals. So there's all sorts of little bits they're involved in, and they do their own live sound effects for out on the river. It's very exciting, but it'll be a imaginative and visual treat, like you say, for everyone. I can't wait. I'm very excited. I get to see all the little rough pictures that we take to make sure that we know what the costumes will look like. And I keep looking at it going, this is really exciting. This is really exciting. I want everyone to see it now.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. If people are watching this now or listening and thinking, right, I need to do that right now. I need to book these tickets. So where can they go for these tickets?
They can call our box office on 01646 695 267, or they can go online to torchtheatre.co.uk, and it's all available in either of those places. Our box office team will be happy to take your call, and they'll just chat to you as well. So if you just want to ring up and sort of book your tickets and have a quick chat, they'll have a chat with you. They're lovely.
Love that.
It sounds the perfect way to start off the summer holidays.
Oh yes, it's it's just going to put a smile on your face, and you'll go, this is the Wind and Willows for their generation, and then you kind of go, great, I can hand that over to you, and I'm very excited. I genuinely cannot wait. I'm so excited.
When does the chaos begin of getting everybody together on that stage?
10 a.m. on Sunday morning. 10 a.m. on Sunday morning. So it's come down to Milford at 5 o'clock on Sunday evening, and I will be somewhere in a pile going, wow, it's happening now, and I'm so overwhelmed. I just need to sit in a dark room for a little bit.
I love that. And then correct me if I'm wrong, this is going to be on the main stage.
Oh yeah. We're not holding back.
Yeah.
We're not holding back. It's the main stage. Our tech team are also very excited. They've started on their little journey as well. Our incredible community choir, the Torch Voices, they've pre-recorded some songs for us. So they'll be underscoring the action and doing some scene change music. So that's all ready to go. I was listening to those last night, and they're just incredible. So they recorded those last week. So I'm very excited to put that in as well. So it's a proper, like, all of our Torch wider community are involved in that sense, and that's very exciting. Our tech boys get so excited about opening the building up for the young people. We've also got a young person joining us from Escort Preselli this week, who's on work experience, and she's making loads of ears and doing costume. So like, we're just getting everyone involved. So come down, help us out. I'm very excited.
Amazing. Fun for all the family to kick off the summer holiday, as Gina's just mentioned there. Get your tickets now. It sounds amazing. Break a leg.
Thank you so much.
To all of you.
Yes, all of it.
You're going to fill that stage up. I cannot wait. Is there a particular song that you've had in mind as you come to radio station? I've put you on the spot here.
Oh no, now you've really put me on the spot. Oh no, that's not fair. The choir songs is You Got a Friend, which is lovely, they were doing that. I was listening to that last night and going, that's such a lovely choice of a song for this play, because the choir have chosen the songs as well. So one of the things they do as a choir, they meet on a Thursday, and that's for everyone over 18 years. They come along and they choose their own songs, and then Anne Harrod Sanders, who runs the choir, just works with them and they choose. So we're kind of using their songs in the play. It's just gorgeous. I love it. I'm so excited.
Excellent. And the Torch have got their Sunset Cinemas coming up. We're chatting with Chelsea on Friday for that one.
Very good. Very exciting.
Looks amazing. We've already mentioned it already here. Tim, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Enthused by your energy, and I can't wait to see it come alive.
Oh, we can't wait to have you all there. Looking forward to seeing you.
Tim Howe from the Torch, thank you very much. It's 8:30 here. Still time to get your celebrations in, G.
Yep. 01437 764455 on the WhatsApp.
Folly Farm sponsors